Welcome to Dash Explore. This past weekend, my oldest daughter Haley and I had the most amazing mother-daughter day trip to Washington, D.C., and I just had to share it with you all. So we are from Richmond, Virginia, and the original plan for this trip was to take the train from Richmond up to Washington, D.C., spend the day in D.C., see some of the sights, go to a Washington Spirit women's soccer game, and then take the train back home. But naturally, as things do, some family stuff came up, and we ended up actually needing to be in Philadelphia for the weekend, so we spent Friday and Saturday in Philadelphia, and we were able to pivot our plans and take the train from Philadelphia to DC and then DC back home, which honestly I was super grateful for because I was not about driving my car through DC traffic. Despite some minor hiccups, we were able to make this weekend trip work, and I just made the most special memories with my daughter, and I hope that by seeing our time together in the city, doing something together, this might inspire you to get out with one of your kids and do something special. So now let's jump into our mother-daughter day in Washington, DC. We started out with some continental breakfast from our hotel before getting in the car and heading to the train station. Andrew was nice enough to drive us into the city before going back to collect Delaney and make their way back to Richmond. All right, Haley and I are at the train station in Philadelphia, and we are on our way to
Washington, D.C.
So is it gonna be a fun day?
Yeah.
You and me. We had no problem navigating our way through the station and were able to easily find our gate and make our way onto our train. Now, if you haven't seen our previous video about train travel with kids, I will make sure to link that in the description below, because between our Europe trips and our trip to New York City last summer with Haley by train, we love taking trains and think it is an excellent way to get from place to place. After arriving in DC, we made our way to the metro station so that we could go and get some sightseeing in before the soccer game that afternoon. We were meeting up with one of our friends to go to the soccer game, and she gave me excellent directions, and we had no problem making our way from metro to metro to get down to the Capitol and the Washington Monument. This was Haley's first time in DC, and it was so cool to see her experience some of these iconic monuments for the first time. Dear America, let's get more public transportation going because we've had a wonderful day doing that. After meeting up with our friend Kaylin, we decided to make our way over to the Smithsonian because we had a little bit of extra time to kill, and naturally the one thing Haley wanted to see while we were in there were the gemstones. After a quick visit at the Smithsonian, we made our way back to the metro to make our way over to Audi Field for the Washington Spirit soccer game. All right, what time is it?
Soccer time.
We still had a lot of walking to do to get to the stadium, and Haley was pretty exhausted when we got there, but once we got in the stadium, she could not be more excited to see some of her favorite soccer players. Now, like I've already mentioned, we went to New York City by train last summer, and for that trip, we were actually going to see the U.S. Women's National Soccer team play just outside of the city in New Jersey. Haley and I have watched a lot of soccer together, and she knows a lot of the big professional players, especially those that play for the U.S. Women's National team, and watching soccer together has been something that has been so special for us, and we both had an absolute blast. And I think the highlight of the game for us was watching Trinity Rodman come back and play for the first time in a long time after dealing with injury and scoring the game-winning goal in extra time. The Washington Spirit won, and we both had the most incredible time together. Once the game was over, we decided that it was definitely going to be easier for us to take a lift back to the train station so Haley didn't have to do as much walking. This proved to be very easy and got us to the station with plenty of time before needing to board our train. Again, we had no problems finding our gate and were able to easily board our train and start to make our way back home. Oh my goodness, what a day. We went to the Washington Spirit game, and what happened?
Washington won!
And we're on the train, we're on our way back to Richmond. It has been a crazy day. We started in Philadelphia, we spent most of our day in DC, and now we are going back to Richmond. So ready to enjoy a little bit more mother-daughter time. Getting to spend this whole day with just Haley was so special for me, especially because she's starting kindergarten and growing up so quickly right before my eyes. I'm so glad that we were still able to make this trip work, and I know that is something we will both remember for years to come. All right, we have officially made it back home, and we have had the absolute best day.
Yes. It was like the best day in the world.
The whole greatest day we could have asked for. So thank you guys so much for watching our Mother-Daughter Day in Washington, D.C. I hope that this video inspires you to pick out something special that you know your kids are really interested in or that they'll really love and spend that special one-on-one time just you and your kid. Like I said, this is something that both Haley and I will remember for a really long time, and I hope that we're still able to take trips like this going into the future as she continues to grow. Between getting to see some of the major sites in Washington, D.C., getting to ride the train and the metro, and seeing a soccer game, we really had an incredible day, and she's already talking about when we can go back to Washington, D.C. again. I also know that we will probably be doing more of these one-on-one mother-daughter, father-daughter kind of days going into the future, so if you have any suggestions for things that you and your kids have done for special one-on-one time, please leave it in the comments below, because I know that after this special day, Haley's going to want to do it all the time, and we are going to need all the suggestions. So make sure you leave us a comment, and if you enjoyed this video, please make sure you give it a like, and if you want to follow along for more of our family travel tips or family travel adventures, please make sure that you hit the subscribe button and ring the notification bell so that you can get notified when we post new videos. And you can also follow us on Instagram at @explore and like us on Facebook, so make sure you find us in all the places so you can stay up to date, and we look forward to seeing you back here in the next one.